Hi, I'm Joanne Carey. Welcome back to my channel. And today is another episode of Talking with the Guides. And the topic that came direct from you guys is abundance. This isn't something that my guides often talk a lot to me about, so I'm excited to hear what the conversation is about. I don't see the questions in advance. Tal tunes in and determines what questions are sort of in the field for us to talk about. And with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Tal. Welcome back, Tal.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Joanne. Yeah, I'm really excited about this episode. In terms of abundance, and also in terms of the perfection of the universe and how much help we get from our guides that we're not even aware of. When we were speaking before we started recording, I was talking a little bit with Joanne about abundance being more than just financial abundance, that you can have an abundance of sunshine or an abundance of friends or love or anything. And Joanne said to me that her guides had been kind of talking with her about this episode, and leading into it, they were saying you can have an abundance, I think it was like of grains of sand on the beach, that there's all forms of abundance in the world, in the universe.
They were talking about it all, about grains of sand, about pebbles on the road, about leaves on the trees. It's abundance everywhere. So it will be a fun conversation for sure.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Are we ready? Do you want me to go in and we'll see what the guides have to say?
Absolutely.
All right. I'll let you know when they're here. Greetings, we are here and we are pleased to be gathering with you for another conversation. We will open it up to questions.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for starting us off on such a lovely synchronicity that kind of makes us feel like we're on the right track with what we're doing here. So as I was saying before we tuned in with the guides, that most of the time we think of abundance as financial abundance, as, issues of money. And I do want to focus on financial abundance during this discussion because I do feel that it's something that a lot of people struggle with. And that's actually one of the questions for you that I have, which is, while I do want to focus on all areas of abundance, like you talked about with Joanne about, whether it's grains of sand on the beach or an abundance of food or an abundance of whatever you might have in your life, I want to try to understand or to help people understand, why is financial abundance such a difficult area for so many people? I find that for a lot of people, but I find especially sometimes people on a spiritual path tend to associate money and having a lot of money with negative things rather than positive things. So what is it? Is it like, why do we have these belief systems? Is it like the society we're living in? Is it that we forget how much we have an ability to co-create our lives? Is it, past life stuff? I'm sure it's all of the above, but I would just love for you guys to give us a little bit of assistance in understanding why financial abundance can be so challenging for so many people.
We would first like to begin with a basic premise that you are abundance. You, as beings of light, as sparks of the Creator, are in fact abundance in your essence. And what is preventing you from experiencing the abundance that you wish, in this case, you speak to financial abundance, is the frame in which you see. It is the vines that grow around your light that prevent you from receiving all that is wishing to come to you. So why is it, you ask, that many spiritual, and we put that in quotations, for you are all spiritual, but those who are actively seeking their awakening, those who are actively seeking to evolve their consciousness and support others in doing the same, why is it, you ask, that they are often lacking in financial capacity? On a very broad scale, this is to do with many lifetimes past, where you have taken vows of poverty, for it was part of the church systems, the religious systems that began to weave into the fabric of your collective conscious that it is bad to have money, that you cannot be one with God, with the Creator, if you are in greed, if you are in wealth, that these have been fundamental structural creations that have been built into the collective humanity's belief system. And that becomes a frame that you live in, a box, if you prefer, that limits you from the abundance of your natural essence. So, in direct answer, it is because of the belief systems and structures that you have been raised with, whether it's in your family because of religion, whether it is simply because of something that you have learned through your parental structures. You are dealing with beliefs. And until you can open yourself up and allow yourself permission, view that you are worthy of receiving the abundance that is your natural birthright, you will continue to see reflected back to you the distortions of lack, and in this case, financial lack.
Okay. So I love how this works, because you answered some of the questions that I had, but it's taking me in a little bit of another direction. So the vows of poverty, that's something that I feel like most of us have heard about. And I know that a lot of us probably had past lives where we were in some type of church or another, where we were some type of monk, or who knows what type of role in a religious organization that required us to abstain from a lot of things, including material things and money. How can we, in this lifetime, since we are all here in this financially based society for now at least, how can we renounce those vows of poverty now, so that we sever the ties with them that are kind of attached to us from the other lifetimes? And, if you guys have a process that we can do, even to go into like a short meditation where we somehow cut those cords, and allow ourselves to start to be freed from those beliefs. Because, if it's such a deep-seated belief, the obvious next question is, okay, well, so then how do we modify or reintroduce new beliefs, or release those vows from our energy field, from our consciousness, so that we can really start allowing all of the amazing things that are available to us on this planet that we want to partake in. Let's not have financial issues be the reason why we're not doing it.
Beautiful. Yes, we can support you in that. Now, first, we would like to say, let's eliminate the word try. We aren't going to try anything. You are not going to try anything. You are going to simply allow for it to happen. You are going to make a choice, a decision. As you become aware, as you reflect upon your own life as to where you may be experiencing lack, and this can ripple out. And we wish for you to say, maybe you are not having financial lack, but you are having lack of relationship, or you are having lack in some other area of your life, lack of health, lack of whatever. All of those are all tied to a frequency of lack. Bringing back to the specific vow of poverty, or agreement to be that it is not good to have money, that I will not have money in order to be in my highest service. Let us now join together. If this is something that feels resonant to you, If you turn your minds for a moment to your own physical vessel, for even though this is something that may have occurred in a past life, it will carry a resonance in your field. It's a tie through time that carries the resonance with you for you to see it in this lifetime. And the reason you are seeing it in this lifetime is so that you can let it go. This does not have to be hard. It used to be more difficult when the energies on the planet were more dense. However, things are much lighter now, and it is much easier to allow yourself to clear these types of cords of energetic ties, this dissonance in your fields. So take a moment, take a few deep breaths, if you will.
I'm going to do this with you. So whoever's watching, I'm doing this with you.
You may close your eyes if you wish. And take a few deep breaths. And as you do, take yourself down from the mental mind where you are sitting right now, thinking about where you may have this lack, whether you have taken this vow or otherwise. And simply make the decision at this moment to release this belief, to release this vow, to release this contract, to release this agreement to be in a line with financial lack and lack in all areas of your life. Set the intention, I am now choosing to release this contract, this vow, this agreement, this belief. For it is no longer serving me. It has served me in the past, but it no longer serves me now. And bring yourself deep down into your heart, to the core of your being. As you stand firmly within the center of your beingness, notice around you that you stand within a larger form. This is your higher self, your whole self, if you will. The self that already knows that your innate essence is abundance, who knows in this moment that you are not needing to keep this vow any longer, that it gets to be released now across all timelines, space, and dimensions. It gets to support the release through your ancestry, through your parental lines. So as you stand firmly in your body, and you see that you stand firmly within your energetic bodies, as you see expanded out further, you standing firmly within your whole self, who stands firmly within the quantum field, the space of all time. And from this point, imagine, if you will, see, if you will, imagine or sense, if you will, a cord of light somewhere within and around you. It may be in front, it may be below, it may go out your back. Sense where you feel this cord of light that is tethering you to a contract, a vow, an agreement of poverty. And in this moment, as you choose, as you decide to let it release, we call in Archangel Michael to support us, calling in the angels to support us. And as you see that light, that tethering cord, supported by all your team, see that cord now cut. Maybe you see giant scissors, maybe you see a dagger, maybe you see an axe, maybe you simply see it dissolve. Watch it dissolve now. Shata shatama okshura shata shatama ashatya au shatura shatamata. Gently see it dissolve, it completely dissolve. Invite all of your energy where you have been in agreement to this cord of poverty, allow all of your energy to come back into yourself. See it coming back, call it all back, all of you back into you, and see that other remain of that cord dissolve out into space, going back into the earth, back through where it belongs to be transmuted and dissolved. All of you back into you. And as you stand free and clear of this pattern, of this contract, of this vow, see a powerful beam of light come down through your crown. Pure source, pure crystalline light coming down through your body, through your cells, into every cell, into the space between every cells, filling you completely with the abundance that you are. Ashatamai kia aushatura shatamata. Feeling it coming down, grounding you down through your feet, down into the earth. And with the earth, anchoring this fully within your beingness. And as Mother Earth herself gifts up her abundance to remind you, grounded in body, in this lifetime, in this form, that you are abundant, and feeling her energy come back up into your body, fully anchoring, full source light in you, full abundance within you, infinite you within you, your divine birthright rebirthed within you. Feel it, feel it, feel it. Take a deep breath in, feeling it fill you fully. Feel your lungs fill, feel every cell being filled with the abundance. Your divine essence remembered. Ashatamara koya shikia asatama. You are free. You are free. You are free. And as you bring yourself back into your body fully, as you feel yourself, as you feel your cells, as you feel your fingers and toes, as you bring yourself back in to your beingness, know that you are changed. Know that it is done. And we say one more thing to you. It is done. And the only way it becomes undone is if you choose to agree to create in the way you have created. In this moment of this time, in this moment of this now, you have released the frame of poverty, of lack, of financial abundance. See in your mind's eye the glasses that you wore, if you will, the lens that you've seen through, that you are used to seeing through, that you are used to creating through. And we would, in your mind, take these glasses and don't put them back in the case. Because many of you will say, oh, that was a very fun exercise. I got rid of it, but I'm going to keep it in my back pocket. I'm going to keep these glasses just in case I need them. And we are saying to you, that would be a choice that you make. We suggest that just like the cord that you cut, you take the lens, the belief, the patterns that you have been creating with from the time that you were born, and you throw them into the ocean. See them thrown into the ocean, stomped under your feet, destroyed, whatever way feels good to you. Don't choose it back. You are that powerful. You can choose it back. This is why it is important for you to be aware of where you are creating from. If you start to see a reflection of lack, it's for you to say, no, I am not choosing to have this again. Because you are so used to creating from the past, from how things were, for saying the same stories when they come up, for telling your friends. You can have it back if you want it. We would strongly suggest that you don't need it any longer, to let it go, and to be aware. Because you've been holding on to this for a very long time, and it's comfortable. Your lack, your financial abundance is comfortable. You wear it like a comfy, sleepy robe. You get to choose now, moving forward. It is gone. It is gone. It is gone. Allow it to be gone. Allow yourself to create from this new space that you are in. You are that powerful. And invite in your team right now, each of you who are supported, whether you know it or not, invite them in and let them tap on your shoulder. Let them make you aware when you have the thoughts that aren't supporting you. For it'll take you a bit to integrate this fully into your day-to-day beingness. Yes, time is moving faster, so the reflection of your thought to when you see it out pictured is much shorter. This is supporting you. Know that you are changed and know that the tether is broken. The tether is gone. The remnants dissolved. Allow it to be so. Blessings. We will open you up to more questions when you feel ready.
I needed to start taking myself back a little bit because I knew we were going to come back and I was so deep in the process myself. I actually did it for an area other than financial abundance. And I would suggest that for those of us or those of you listening who you feel this is an interesting topic, but maybe you have a lot of financial abundance, but you have other areas of your life where you could use more abundance, I would rewind and go back and do it for that if you weren't doing it already, because that was a really, really helpful process. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome, and it will absolutely work for anywhere you are feeling lack.
Yes. Fantastic. So I do have some questions. Just give everyone a moment to kind of come back, and also if you feel like you're still really in your process, you can pause and just give yourself a little bit time to come back, and then you can come back and listen to the rest of the conversation. So I wanted to talk about the relationship between gratitude and abundance. Again, it's kind of seems like spirituality 101 a little bit, that many spiritual teachers talk about the fact that in order to create more abundance, you need to be grateful for everything you have in your life right now. Doesn't have to be related to finance. Again, it can be, the abundance of sunshine. It happens to be a gorgeous day here where I am today, so I'm thinking of an abundance of sunshine, of flowers, of birds in the trees. But really, whatever you have in your life, food on your plate, a bed to sleep on, whatever. Can you give us your perspective on how gratitude influences abundance in your life?
Abundance is a frequency. Abundance is a vibrational frequency, your essence. And the reason gratitude is beneficial and supports you is that it brings you into that frequency. So when you are grateful for the abundance that you have in some area, you're grateful for the beautiful sunny day. You are grateful for great conversation with a friend. You are grateful and thankful for these abundances in your life. You are lifting your frequency. And it is not particularly easy, is it, to be grateful for financial abundance if you're not experiencing that. It's not easy to be grateful for loving relationships if you are not experiencing those loving relationships. And so that is why it is beneficial to focus on gratitude in whatever way you are experiencing it. You are all experiencing abundance in so many ways, as it was alluded to at the beginning. When you are feeling that you are not in abundance in finances, you are struggling in that area, and you know that there is that frequency resonance, focusing on your money situation isn't going to be helpful, for that's pulling you down into the lower densities of fear. I don't have enough. I'm not going to have enough. I'm not going to be able to have enough. And by putting your focus there, that is what you are calling more to you. Most of you are very familiar with the law of attraction, the way that you are calling to you, where you are focusing your energy. So when you are focusing your energy on gratitude in every area of your life, and in this case, we're speaking of the abundance areas, as you are turning your focus and appreciation and gratitude to those areas, that's where your energy is flowing. And that is then going to call in, lifting you to the frequency aligned with abundance and joy so that you can experience more of that. She is asking if we have answered the question.
Are you asking me? Oh, sorry.
We did not hear?
Oh, I didn't know if you were asking me or if this is Joanne speaking with you. So
she was asking, she was inquiring as to whether we answered the question. We would say that we have answered the question. If you have other clarifications, we would receive those.
yes. So something that, okay, let me just gather my thoughts because there were a couple of things in there that I wanted to speak about. So some things come easily to certain people. Like everyone has a natural gift that they came into this lifetime with. Some people can play a musical instrument, they can cook. Others are great athletes. Others have a great romantic life, and yet others have financial abundance. And I actually know people who have all of those things. And I think of those people as very abundant people. But I do feel like what I've advised people in the past is think of something that comes easily to you and paint abundance with that brush so that I think I even once told this to a friend of mine who has artistic talent that, paint it with the easy brush, like that the financial abundance is as easy for you as it is to come up with an idea for the next art project, something like that. And I feel like if people could start to do that energetically, they could really shift things in their life. So it kind of takes focusing one step further and kind of applying the feeling of what's easy for you to the things that are harder for you. It won't work for everyone every time, but can you talk about that? Do you feel that that's something that would work for a lot of people, or is there a variation of that you would recommend?
Yeah, we'll speak to our channel. Our channel does very little around the lines of specific process around abundance as you would typically see it. She has been taught to look at the feelings that she wishes to feel. So she, in her values joy. She wants to experience as much joy as she can in any moment. She wants to do those things that bring her fulfillment, that keep her in balance, having fun. And so as she endeavors in every day, sets the intention every day to be in joy, to find the most fulfilling activities, to be in balance, have play in her day, she is bringing forth to her through that intention, not specifically saying, I must have abundance in this thing, but she's choosing to align herself with a higher frequency of joy, of play, of fun, in order to bring forth those activities that she enjoys, those things that bring those to her. Sorry, I'm just being asked to be pulled back a little bit further. When you do not focus specifically on the things that you think you need in order to be abundant, I need to have more money in order to be abundant. I need to have a relationship. I need to have this. I need to have that. As you are focusing on that need, you're actually focusing on the lack. And so when you can, like you were pointing to about painting with the brush of the things that are easy, that are fun, that are your skills, you're doing a very similar thing that our channel is doing when she's focusing on those things that bring her joy, that bring her peace and fun and balance. As you focus and do those things that you are called to, you are bringing in the frequency of abundance. And that, by definition, as you spend time and focus on those things that light you up, those things that bring you joy, that's all tied to abundance, don't you see? That abundance is not just finance. Abundance is everywhere, and it's in everything. And if you can be in the feeling of joy, that is so closely related to abundance because that is who you are. And we know that this is confusing to some of you, for you have been taught that abundance is these things. I must have these things in order to be abundant, in order to be successful, in order to have my needs met. And you focus on the lack of them instead of focusing on where you are already in your joy, where you are already abundant. Again, coming back to the gratitude practice. So if you can spend as much time in your day doing something that brightens your heart, that you can then be grateful for. And our dear Tal is giving you the easy way to do this by focusing on something that you're good at, that you enjoy. If you enjoy sports and you enjoy playing it, go play sports. If you enjoy art, do that. If you enjoy playing with your children, do that. If you enjoy a spiritual conversation, do that. Because that's aligning you to your abundance. And as you are feeling that, and as you are allowing yourself to be in that energy, the rest of it isn't creating. You're creating from that high energy space and not from the frequency of lack. Is that clear? Do you understand?
Absolutely. And everything you just said completely corresponds to what I've learned from my teachers who I've been studying with for 20 years. Frequently they'll talk about, it's so popular to quote unquote manifest. And they say to us that manifesting isn't necessary when you are connected to a high frequency and you're fully present, because whatever you need through the law of grace or just through grace itself is going to unfold in your life. So you're going to be guided and led. The more present you are, the higher frequency you're in. So to me, that's what brings in the abundance, is raising your frequency. But coming back to the questions, because everyone watching this, like if someone is drawn to watching this video, they know a lot of this stuff already. And yet, like some of the most advanced spiritual people that I know still have some of these abundance obstacles.
What is the chatter going on in your mind? What is the story you are telling yourself? It is imperative that you become aware. Be curious, the explorer of your own thoughts that are going on, to become aware of what you are unaware of. Because if you are seeing the reflection of lack outpictured, it is because you are looking to shift it. But if you are saying, and you are focusing in 5 minutes a day, and you are saying, I am going to release it, I am abundant, I'm abundant, and then as soon as you finish that 5 minutes, you go into, we don't have enough, we're not going to have enough of this, we're not going to have enough food on the table, we can't have that vacation, we can't do this thing over here because we don't have enough. And even if it's more subtle than that, even if it's those thoughts that are moving around in your very back of your mind, those little whispers that are telling you that you're not enough, that you're not good enough to do this. These are still lack where you don't think that you are enough. Do you understand? It's not all about the physical outpictured. The stories that you say that you don't deserve that you're not good enough for that happens for other people. These are subtle stories that you're telling yourself. These are stories that you tell each other and reaffirm in your conversations. You get to stop that. You get to be aware and not affirm with each other, to not go into those conversations of lack with each other, to say, yes, it used to be that way, but now I'm changing. It used to be that way, but now I'm choosing differently. I'm choosing my words more carefully.
Absolutely. I love that, because my next question was about visualization. Like you talked about the 5-minute visualization, and, a lot of us are fans of or followers of or love Mike Dooley, and he talks about doing a 4-minute visualization every day. But I've actually spoken to people, because I do also recommend visualization to people as part of their practice for whatever it is that they're trying to create in their life as co-creators. Not to make it their life. Like, your life should not be about manifesting X, Y, and Z. It should be about connecting to the highest possible frequency you can, allowing your consciousness to expand, but being a conscious co-creator of your life and using the visualization as a tool to do that. I just want to specify that, say that before I go further. But in terms of using visualization, I've run into people who have trouble even allowing themselves to visualize themselves financially abundant, or whatever their issue is, that even trying to feel it in a make-believe visualization where they're trying to just start to entrain their mind to their being, their energies to this possibility of new energy, they shut down. So what can we do for the people who are really stuck? Like, they've been studying all the energy work, they've been reading all the books, and they can't even allow themselves to visualize. And you touched on it before, but I just want to go a little deeper. They can't even let themselves pretend feel the feelings, because pretending, feeling the feelings, is what's going to bring it into your life. If you're not even letting yourself feel it, where do we go from there? How can we help those people, whatever area it is of their life, not even necessarily money?
They have to understand what benefit they are getting from remaining stuck. Why? What are they gaining by remaining where they are? How are they keeping themselves safe by not allowing that to happen? It needs to be some self-inquiry if they are wishing to do it. There are some beautiful people who can support you. The channel are all ones who can support people in shifting and releasing these energy patterns, for they are just simply resonance in some part of the body or in some part of the field that is not wishing to let go, that is afraid of what will happen if they allow themselves permission to do that. But each person can start by simply journaling on it, by simply asking the question, how am I benefiting by keeping myself in this, by not allowing myself to do this thing? And write down whatever comes to mind. You may think of it as automatic writing, but simply allow yourself to begin to focus on how you are benefiting from staying stuck, from not being able to allow yourself to feel it. What comes up? What comes up in your mind? Is it an incident that happened in your childhood? Is it a belief that you have that you're not worthy or that you're not enough? If you pull yourself down into your heart center, coming from the space, and say, I'm choosing to visualize myself and I am feeling this resistance. Pay attention to where you feel the resistance. Where in your body are you feeling it? What feelings are you feeling? What does it feel like? Be the explorer, the investigator, for there will be a reason, and you get to find it. But there are people who work with energy who can support you in releasing it without going through it. So it is a matter of your choice, but you need to be in a situation where you are choosing it. I understand in what you may. Our channel works quite a bit with the inner children, the inner parts of yourself that have created a life of their own based on circumstances that you have had throughout your life in order to keep you safe. Each one came from a circumstance or incident where you had a circumstance where a part of you split out and said, okay, she's not able to keep herself safe in this circumstance. We're going to implement this belief, this pattern, this behavior in order to keep her safe. And that is, those parts are very much still active in every one of you, all of in varying degrees. And so if you cannot see a visualization or sense it, some people don't visualize in that way, and that is perfect, then you will simply allow yourself to know it, to write it out in the ways that you can visualize. But allow yourself the opportunity to even go into dialogue. Ask, I know that me as the adult is choosing to visualize this, who wants to move beyond this abundance block. When you tune in to yourself, when you ask yourself, why am I not even allowing myself permission to do this? See what comes up. Go into dialogue with whoever comes forth to you, whatever memory, whatever aspect shows itself, for they will. They're very playful and they want to talk. But also know that you are the one who's in choice. You are in control of your thoughts and your choices to say, thank you very much. I hear, I see you, I feel your resistance, but I'm choosing to do this anyway. And then choose to do it anyway and try it. And don't stop to say, I'm still feeling resistance. No, I'm choosing to do this anyhow. Thank you very much. You sit right there. It's okay. But I'm going to allow myself to feel what it feels like to be abundant. And do so in an area that you do feel that you can reach that feeling and expression. If it's not financial, if you don't see yourself rolling in the money and feeling it all around and seeing all the freedom that you get through doing that, you get to see yourself taking the vacations, you see yourself flying around the world, you see yourself with all your friends around you, you see yourself with the things that bring you joy. If that's too hard, choose one area of your life that you do feel that you can allow yourself to give yourself permission. And if you need permission, we give it to you now.
I love it. Thank you for giving everyone permission, because I do think that people need to feel that. And again, my teachers, like from the School of Vibrational Healing, Peter Sonnenberg and Jonathan Sonnenberg, a lot of what you just said, they've talked about so much as well, that there is a benefit when you're keeping yourself stuck in any way in your life. You're actually getting some type of benefit out of it, and you've got to think a little bit about why, exactly what you said. And also the kind of feel the fear and do it anyway, that you got to take action. You can feel the fear, but you have to still take the action, because that is what is going to break you free of the fear. It's counterintuitive, but it stretches your comfort zone so that, I'm not comfortable feeling like I'm abundant. Okay, so I'm going to feel abundant and be uncomfortable about it. And then the more you do it, suddenly you're feeling abundant. You're kind of used to feeling uncomfortable about it. And then you don't feel uncomfortable about it anymore because you've been practicing. It's like building a muscle. It's like going to the gym. It's the same as practicing any spiritual practice, any physical practice. You have to practice it. You got to do it. So I love
that is why it is called a practice.
Yes. And not a perfect. Yep, absolutely. Um, so just on a kind of a closing note, just a word about money itself. Um, I just, it was interesting also, another coincidence. I'm in Denise Lynn's online community, and she happened this month to be doing talks on abundance. And I was so thrilled because I was like, this is great. It's going to inspire me for the next conversation with the guides, which, by the way, we had planned months and months before I ever knew Denise Lynn was going to do a program in March. So it's just another confirmational synchronicity. Um, she was talking about recently, anytime you spend money, you should bless the money, bless the people who it's going to. I just thought this was so beautiful. Bless the people who the money is going to, because money changes hands. The things that it's going to allow all these people in the world to buy, the way the money is going to come back to you. You know, you can extend this as much as you want. But just a few words at the end about the fact that money, which for many people is a dirty word, money is energy. Money is energy. I mean, yes, it's in physical form, maybe a piece of paper or a digital number in a computer or whatever, but it's an energy. So how can we start to work with money itself energetically? And I think that will be a good place to, to wrap up, to give people like a little, well, we've given so much practical advice in this episode, but some practical thoughts on money as energy.
You have hit the point that money is strictly energy, and it is always wanting to flow. Like any energy, it wants to move, it wants to flow, it wants to be in service. So when you keep it hoarded in your bank account, when you don't spend it, when you fear you don't have enough, it looks to go somewhere where it is appreciated, where it is loved. So you may, as one activity, start talking to your money. I love you, money. Thank you for allowing me to pay my rent today. Thank you for allowing me to have this beautiful lunch, this nourishing food. Love your money. One of the exercises our channel used to use, and she often will recommend to her clients, is to write a love letter to money, explaining to it how much you love it, how you haven't had a great relationship, but you're looking for a better relationship. Writing a love letter to money is one way to show your gratitude and begin building a relationship with it. Coming back to the idea of it as energy, think of money like air. Think of money with every breath that you breathe in and that you breathe out. You are abundant in air. You don't worry about your next breath. Are you going to have enough oxygen? Are you going to have enough air to keep your body moving? That is like money. So with every breath you take in, see yourself filling with money. And as you let it go out, you share it with all of those people. You benefit with every time you spend money. See how you're supporting the stores, the families, the people that you have given the money to, and see money smiling, see money being in sheer glee and joy at being able to provide opportunities for other people. And you get a service back, and you get to give it out, and more people benefit. The more you see that money wants to flow, and that as you give, you will receive. It is that infinite flow. As you breathe in, you will also breathe out. It's the same relationship that is with money. Begin to breathe money. Begin to understand it strictly as energy, as something that you have labeled. Simply allow. We wish to just mention, as we are on this topic, that for those who have a poor relationship with money, that they have been taught that it is bad, writing the love letter to money, beginning to heal your relationship with money and releasing those beliefs is a way that's going to support you. For as long as you have in your field, in your belief system, as long as you are looking through the frame that says money is bad, I can't have money, it's only bad people have money, people abuse money, which means I don't want any money because I don't want to be abused, I don't want to be an abuser. You need to let those beliefs go. You need to be aware of the chatter again that you are telling yourself, the stories that you have been taught and entrained with. And just begin to celebrate money. Talk to it every day. Thank it for being in your life.
I love the idea of the love letter to money. That's beautiful. And just the idea that money wants to flow and that it wants to be in service and wants to go where it is loved. I mean, it has a consciousness. It has a consciousness just like anything that exists in our world has a consciousness. That is absolutely beautiful. And also, I think it applies to the idea not just that money is somehow bad, but also that it's hard to make money or that it's hard to find ways to receive money. And just one last word on this too, just for people out there, sometimes you can do as many spiritual practices as you want, and my teacher talks about this a lot, like taking responsible action is something that, Peter talks about a lot. You have to take responsible action. If you really, truly don't have, a way to support yourself, we have to, find practical ways to be out in the world. I mean, we're here we incarnated at this time to have this experience in a society where you have to work to earn money. You got to figure it out. But you can support your responsible action out in the world with resumes and jobs and, finding the right place for you to be earning money and making a livelihood. You can support and supplement all of that energetically and very powerfully so with the practices that the guides have given us today and some of the things I've talked about and some of, and all of the things that we've all studied and learned about. But you have to, do something to support yourself. It might fall down from the sky for you. That does happen to people, but you have to take responsible action.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully said. It is true. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So are there any further thoughts that you would like to share, or do you feel as well that this is a good stopping point? I feel that we've given people a lot to think about, and there are many answers that were given that are kind of rewindable, where people might want to go back and listen to it again and let it fully sink in.
We would simply say that to remind you once again that your natural birth state, your natural essence is abundance. And it is simply the limitation of belief and structures, the lenses that you wear in this lifetime that are keeping you from experiencing your natural state. And so as you exist at different vibrational frequencies, and as you continue to ascend in vibration, you will have different tools. So there's no one tool that you need to use throughout the course of your evolution of consciousness. That you may be using the law of attraction to manifest in very specific ways based on very tangible things that you think you need or want. That will shift over time to where you are working more with your energy frequency from a state of receiving, where you will spend less time efforting to get what you want because you'll be more aligned with and braided with, working in tandem with your whole self, who is looking at the higher perspective and is ushering to you what it is that you need in every moment. which is your abundance, everything that you need gifted to you in the perfect moment, in the perfect time. So this comes over time. So don't hold on to one way of doing anything in terms of being abundant. Pay attention to where you are, pay attention to your thoughts. Use what techniques and tools feel good to you to support you in the moment that you are in. And we remind you that you are never faced with something in a moment that you do not already have a solution to. So if you are in lack in this moment, as you inquire, know that you have a way out. You are supported and you are loved. There is an answer available to you as you open and receive that guidance and you take the action steps that you are called to take. And with that, we are complete.
Yes, there's a solution for every problem. My teachers say that as well. And it's comforting to know that, and that we can call on those solutions, call on help from whoever we need it from to help us find those solutions. Thank you so much. This was such a great conversation. The process that you did with us for cutting the cords was fantastic. It was great. Here, band's back.
Yes, yeah. They're saying, yes, you're very welcome. And they're saying that they know that it'll be supportive of people as they choose to use it over again, and that they can come back to it at any point to continue to support them, because every time they come back to it, they'll be reaching it from a different point of consciousness, and they'll be able to go deeper with it in their systems. So that's beautiful as well. I do think it was a fun conversation, and I think there's lots of really good stuff that came out of it, and a lot of practical steps that people can take. And obviously, they can approach you for your sessions if people want to go deeper. I also work with clients to help them shift and release energies. So for both of us, you can reach more out to Tal at blueangelmeditations.com. We'll put links below in the description, as well as you can find all the information and ways to work with me at joannecarey.com, and again, linked in the description. I hope that you've enjoyed this beautiful conversation on abundance. And next time, in episode number 4, which will be coming up next month, will be about love and relationships. So if there's anything in particular that you want to hear or have questions specifically around love and relationships, feel free to write it in the comments below. And as always, we love to hear whatever feedback you have. We always read it and comment back. So thank you so much. And if you liked this conversation, please like it, share it, turn on notifications, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on other conversations just like this.